Summer is a time for unwinding, enjoying the sun, and more stress-free outdoor fun with your family and friends. It's also a season where I want to spend less time in the kitchen. So today, I plan to spend my afternoon in the kitchen cooking up a variety of easy and delicious summer-inspired dishes so that dinner can be done for the entire week. As a busy stay-at-home mom to a 1-year-old, this is my way of taking my evenings back so that I can have more time to relax and de-stress from the day while enjoying more time with my family because I don't have to worry about what's for dinner or spend hours in the kitchen every week. I don't have the picture-perfect kitchen, but I have all the tools I need to make it work. Things get a little messy in here, but the end result is always delicious, wholesome meals my entire family enjoys. I'll be sharing tips and strategies on how you too can be in and out of the kitchen with meals prepped for your families and yummy recipes with summer-inspired flavors. This week, I'm focusing on budget meals by making meals around the ingredients we already have. So I did a quick inventory and I'm headed to the grocery store to grab a few more things that we needed. Okay, it is Sunday and baby girl and I just recently got back from a walk. It is beautiful outside, and although I'm not meal prepping until Tuesday, there is a couple things I want to get ready. One of which I need to pull out a chicken so that this can be thawed by tomorrow, because I actually want to roast this in the oven tomorrow so that on Tuesday I can just shred it up and use it for one of the recipes that I'm going to be making, which is going to be pulled barbecue chicken sandwiches. Really excited to make that. And the second thing I need to do is make some bone broth. So I'm going to be doing that now. Just a pro tip, don't throw out your chicken bones because they definitely add up. If you guys make a lot of like chicken wings, chicken thighs with the bone in, whole chicken carcasses, it's definitely going to save you a lot of money. And this is something I started doing a while back, and it has definitely been a game changer because bone broth can definitely be expensive, and it can also be hard to get like top of the notch quality broth. So making it from scratch is definitely the way to go. It's super simple. I'm going to do this in the Instant Pot. So let's get this bone broth going. So this was actually my first time making bone broth in the Instant Pot, and it's definitely a lot quicker than doing it on the stovetop. I didn't have a recipe for this. I just used all the bones that I had in that bag. It was probably about 3 pounds. And then you just want to cover them to where it covers the bones. I added in some aromatics, so onion, garlic, celery, and carrots, and a bay leaf. And then I also added in some raw apple cider vinegar. This is just going to help to draw out those nutrients. I set my Instant Pot on high pressure for 125 minutes. After that, I actually did it again at 125 minutes on low. Moving on to our sourdough hamburger buns. This recipe was from Amy Bakes Bread, and I will put the recipe in the description box for you guys. It was 200 grams of active sourdough starter, 240 grams of buttermilk, 1 large egg, 3 tablespoons of sugar, but in this case I used maple syrup, 515 grams of bread flour, 10 grams of salt, and about 4 tablespoons of softened butter. So I'm just getting this going in my stand mixer. After that, I am just going to let it rest for 4 to 6 hours until it rises about 30%. Now it's time to shape the buns. So this is probably my second time making sourdough buns. Definitely not something I make often, but it is something I want to get better at making. So I'm just shaping those up, and I'm going to let them rest for another hour or two until they're nice and puffy and ready to bake. So it is prep day, and I decided to go ahead and roll out the cookie dough balls that I actually prepped a few days ago. These are a sourdough peanut butter cookie recipe, and I figured this would be a perfect little dessert that we could enjoy after dinner. So if you guys want to check out the recipe, I'll leave it in the description box below. I'm caffeinated, I've had a great meal, and I'm setting my timer for 1 hour. So let's make 4 summer inspired meals to get us through the entire week in hopefully an hour or less. All right, you guys, so we are kicking off the day with one of my top favorite casseroles, and that is going to be a tuna casserole bake. And this is so simple to throw together. Definitely going to be a 30-minute meal, and it's predominantly one pot, which is also nice. While my water's going, I wanted to get some veggies cut up for our summer soup that we're going to be making. So it calls for 2 zucchinis, so I just decided to prep that and set it aside. I noticed that the recipe actually didn't call for onion, and I was kind of shocked because I thought most soup recipes called for onion. But I wanted to add some onions, so I did dice up half of an onion. Prepping ahead my family's meals has honestly been a game changer. It has just helped me to relax more into my evenings and not be worried about what's for dinner every night. Saves me time, saves us money, and it's just been a life changer. So I've actually created a free guide if you guys want to check it out. It's called the 1 hour meal prep plan for busy women. So if you're a busy mama like myself, maybe you have toddlers running around, maybe you're just busy and you work full time, this is going to be the perfect guide for you. It's essentially going to walk you step by step by what I'm doing in the kitchen right now. So it comes complete with a grocery list, and it's also going to have a 1 hour prep flow so that you know exactly what you're doing from start to finish. It also has 3 go-to meals that you can just rotate weekly. And honestly, this method has, like I said, it's changed our lives. So I'm going to leave the link for you guys. It's going to be down in the description box below, and I'm also going to pin it in the comments. So go get your 1 hour meal prep guide. Diced up a few carrots and a couple stalks of celery as well. Made a little bit of a mess. Why would I do that? So I'm adding 3 cups of egg noodles to my boiling water. I'm also going to dice up a few cloves of garlic for the soup as well. So for the soup, I'm adding in 3 chicken breasts to the Instant Pot. I'm also going to add in some crushed tomatoes, the veggies that we just diced up. I'm adding in a bit of farro, which is a spelt flour pasta. Y'all, this bone broth that I made literally turned to gelatin. I added in a couple cups of water, a bit of olive oil, some oregano, basil, garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper, and I will leave the full recipe for you guys in the description box. I'm going to high pressure cook that for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. I like to add a bit of oil or butter to the noodles just so that they don't stick together while I'm making the roux. So for the roux, I'm doing 5 tablespoons of butter. Once that melts, I'm adding in 5 tablespoons of flour. And after that cooks for about 2 minutes, just to cook the flour out, I'm going to add in slowly 2.5 cups of milk. Once the milk starts to thicken, I'm going to add in some seasonings, some salt, pepper, paprika, and garlic powder. Then I'm going to add in 1 cup of shredded cheese. Now I'm assembling the casserole, and so it's super simple at this point. I'm just adding in a couple cans of tuna and kind of breaking it up with my spatula to toss it in the noodles. I didn't get any frozen peas. I kind of forgot, so I knew that I had some frozen spinach in the freezer, and I thought that that would be a nice substitute. Look at that cream sauce. So yummy. topping that off with about another cup of cheese, and then I'm going to throw it into the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes. Now I'm getting started on our taco skillet bake. So I'm adding in a couple pounds of ground beef, just crushing that up. I didn't feel like dicing up onions, so I decided just to shred it in with the box grater. And so that worked out just fine. To that, I'm adding in some salt, cumin, paprika, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of red pepper flakes, and then I'm just mixing that all together to get it nice and coated in the seasonings. So I actually don't have a recipe for this taco skillet bake, but I'll leave one that's super similar in the description box below. It's really easy. I just added in a bit of tomato sauce and a can of black beans, just mixing that up. And then to that, I'm gonna crush up some corn tortilla chips, and it's honestly kind of magical what happens when you crush these up and just mix it together. They get nice and soft, and you just have that nice fresh tortilla taste throughout the casserole, and it's honestly just delicious. This is definitely one of me and my husband's new favorites. To that, I'm adding in some shredded cheese, and I'm just going to toss that around as well. And then I'm just going to top it off with probably another half a cup or 1 cup of cheese, and throw that into our hot oven for 15 to 20 minutes until it's nice and bubbly and golden brown on top. After our soup was done pressure cooking for 20 minutes, I went ahead and pulled out the chicken, and then I just shredded it. It was so tender and easy to shred, and I was really surprised by this. I'm going to add that back into the Instant Pot, and then throw in our zucchini that we chopped up earlier, and 1 cup of fire roasted corn. Give that a nice stir. And then we're going to pressure cook that on high for another 5 minutes. Our taco bake was done and looking absolutely scrumptious. All right, you guys, so we're almost done. The last couple things I wanted to do was get this coleslaw ready. So I just diced up some fresh onion, and to a large bowl I added in our coleslaw mix. As far as the dressing, I'm keeping it super simple. A lot of things I don't have a recipe for them, just to make it quicker as well. So I added in a few tablespoons of mayo, about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, some maple syrup, probably about a tablespoon, and a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with some salt and pepper. And I just tossed that together, and it turned out delicious. So that's going to be a great pairing with our barbecue pulled chicken sandwiches. Here's the rotisserie chicken that I baked last night in our Dutch oven. It turned out so incredibly tender. Honestly, I don't think I'll make a rotisserie chicken any other way, because I've made some pretty dry rotisserie chickens in the past. And I just find that doing this kind of braising technique with a little bit of liquid on the bottom of my Dutch oven really just worked wonders for this chicken. So I shredded that up, and like I said, I'm saving my bones for later. To our shredded chicken, I'm going to go ahead and I actually ended up adding in this entire bottle of barbecue sauce. I added in a couple other things too, because I just felt like it was lacking flavor. So I think I added in some Worcestershire sauce, some Dijon mustard, and I think that was it. but this came together really nicely after those additions. At this point, I'm just picking up the kitchen and getting everything put away, and I want to get this dishwasher loaded as well. And I'm just feeling great because at this point I know dinner is essentially done for the entire week. And I'm really excited to just be able to relax into my evenings and not have to worry about making dinner every night. All right, it is dinner time. I had just got back from the gym, so I was getting our sandwiches ready. So I piled up our sourdough buns with some of that fresh pulled chicken, and I also diced up some fresh jalapeno to add on top because me and my husband do enjoy a bit of spice. After that, I added a couple slices of Monterey Jack cheese, and then I'm just spreading on some garlic aioli that I made a little over a week ago. And then I'm just going to throw that in the oven at 400 just to toast for about 5 minutes. Topping it off with a little bit more garlic aioli. I love me some garlic aioli, so I try to always keep some in the fridge. And we're gonna have just the coleslaw that we made earlier on the side. And what's a sandwich without a pickle? That's my opinion anyway. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with me while I prep a variety of delicious meals for my family. I hope you found inspiration to bring into your homes and helpful tips and strategies that you can use in your kitchen. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment of your favorite summer dishes to make. Also, don't forget to grab your complimentary 1-hour meal plan guide that I linked for you in the top of the description box below this video. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.